Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and in this video, I'm going to be giving you guys a full look at one of Frog's new premium trucks, and that is this, his OBS Ford 6-door long bed dually. Now, there's a lot going on with this truck, and it's actually a lot more capable than you might think, even for how long the wheelbase actually is. Now, full disclosure, this is actually my second time recording this video because the first time I recorded it, my computer decided to literally turn my mic volume almost all the way down to the point to where, like, you could barely even hear my voice. It was ridiculous. But hopefully we've got it on a well-balanced level now, and if you guys have any input on the actual sound levels, whether that be voice volume or game volume, please do let me know in the comments down below. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and kick off this test and get it into the garage for a build. Now, if you guys would like more info on how to get your hands on this truck, I will also leave a link to Frog's Discord in the description down below. Now, let's go ahead and get into the customization. So, since we are out on the Super Truck Stadium map, we're going to go with the performance engine, we're going to go with the highway gearbox, and we're going to go with the lifted suspension, and we're going to go with the 40-inch tires. Now, I was originally going to go with the BFGs, but I was thinking about going with the Trepadors because I never use them on this truck. Now, you really only get one winch option, but it's a pre-programmed winch, and it's very good, so I wouldn't worry about it. Then you have two different wheel options. You have this one, which is kind of like a semi-truck style wheel, and then you have this one, which is a fuel full-blown built by Capone. Now, obviously, wheels are a personal choice thing, but I really like these a lot. I prefer these. And for this truck, I'm going to actually go with a sort of like a whitish gray on top of the matte black. And for interior customization, we don't really have anything on the truck right now, but maybe Frog will update that in the future. So let's go ahead and leave the garage now and see how this thing drives. Now, obviously, it looks amazing. It looks great. And one of the coolest things also about this truck is that people have actually done builds like this in real life where they've taken an OBS Ford or, let's say, a Chevy or a Dodge or whatever, and they've lengthened the frame, lengthened the drive shaft, and they've also added another 2 doors, and so effectively you have a 6-door long bed dually, and it's not too far-fetched to know that people do builds like this in real life. Now, let's see how this thing does on a variety of different obstacles. First one of those being, I think we're going to actually take it down the trail just a little bit, and then we are going to run it around the racetrack and see how it likes that. So, normally... Whoa! Alright, normally I would time this, but in this one I'm not going to time it because I feel like this is a little bit more of an exploration of what this truck can do rather than trying to go for a lap time. You know, it actually does a lot better in the rocks than you would think, and the wheelbase also doesn't hurt it as much as you would think. The only time the wheelbase would really hurt you in this thing is if you were in some really tight trails, some extremely tight stuff. Now, let's see how it does up here, because these stacks of lumber are probably going to be something that it could get high-centered on. Let's see. Well, actually, no. The 40s are big enough that it's not really a worry for it, and actually, that's pretty nice to know. Now, I have done some objective-based gameplay with this truck in the campaign mode on the new Phase 3 Wisconsin maps, and it actually does really well for hauling lumber trailers and hauling fuel trailers around to support your other vehicles in campaign maps, and I think that it's actually very worthwhile to use in a modded campaign playthrough, and it also doesn't feel ultra over the top, especially when you use the lower-level engines and the off-road transmission. Now that we've done a little bit of the obstacle course, we're not going to do the whole thing, but we're going to actually swing it around, do a little bit of a donut real quick, repair it, and then head for the racetrack. So we have, like I said before, the highway gearbox in it right now, which is definitely going to be the better option for the track. Stop, 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 stop! Oh god, it is not the best on pavement, but that's not what, you know, these Trepadors are meant for, so it makes sense. Easy. Woo! Now, I wonder if it can clear the first jump. I'm not gonna start the race timer, but I wonder if it can clear the first jump. This is with a fully upgraded engine and the highway gearbox. It's 5th gear. 6th gear. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Not only did it clear the first jump, but it did a pretty good job of it, actually. Initiated a pretty good slide, too. Oh, my God. Get into the corner. It just wants to head straight for the grass. Like, that's the only place this thing wants to be half the time. you can kind of get, like, you can kick it into high and almost use it as sort of a clutch kick around a corner. It doesn't always work, but it sometimes does. It's very stable, though. It's extremely stable. It's actually a lot better than some of the trucks that we've tested here that we thought would be good for racetracks. This thing, which doesn't look like it would be any good for racetracks, is actually really, really, really good. And I think it's actually way better than it has any right to be, but that's all right. Although, to be fair, I mean, like, hey, every truck has a right to do well at the racetrack if its abilities are there for it. So that is definitely something to keep in mind. And I think at the end of the day, if your truck is good at the racetrack, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter what it looks like. If it can, dude, if it can hang at a racetrack, go for it. Let's see how it does over these whoops obstacles. Okay, that kind of damaged the rear suspension a little bit, but that's okay. It was kind of a rough landing. Handles really well on the dirt. I have got to give it to Frog with the tuning of this thing. It handles really well in the dirt with the 40s. I have got to give him that. We're going to take the dirt route this time, but don't worry, there is a massive jump just up the road after you get through more of these trophy truck style whoops. Again, that gave us a little bit of damage right there. The high-speed impacts are definitely not this truck's favorite, but that's kind of an overall thing in SnowRunner. Like, most trucks in SnowRunner don't like any kind of high-speed impact off a jump, so that's completely understandable and acceptable. So let's make a run over that. Wow, though. Uh-oh, that one it's not going to like. Yeah, because it was twisted a little bit on that one. Anytime where you're going to have a landing where the truck is going to be weirdly twisted, it's not going to like, and I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know that right now. It's just not what this truck enjoys in the least. Come on, there it is. Wow, I was expecting it to actually pick up some damage on that one. I'm surprised it didn't. Final jump, and boom! Dude, the speed of the thing is actually, it's so surprising that, oh god, a lot of understeer. But it's so surprising to me that this thing does so well on this track, and yet it's the least suspecting thing to do really well on a big racetrack like this. There's no way this thing... Whoa! Stay on the wall! Thank you. There's no way this thing would do this well on a racetrack like this in real life, but my god, here in SnowRunner, the way it's tuned and the way it's set up, it's so good. It's so... You cannot argue with it. It's so incredibly good. Alright, let's go ahead and dip out of the racetrack now. Excuse me. It did not want to go that way. It was just like, nah, man, that's not what we're doing. And I was like, yes, it is. And it was like, no, it isn't. Ooh, there is one section that I want to try. And the cool thing about this course, because it connects to the drag strip, is the fact that you can basically, if there are sections of the course you want to bypass, you can bypass a bunch of sections of the course, go down to the sections you want to do, and then you can start right there where you want. Let's try the last section of the obstacle course, because it's got a lot of mud and a lot of jumping around. So let's go. High rate. Whoa! Pull that back over, please. That was a hard hit, but that really did, like, send us for a good launch off of that. See how she does in a little bit of crawling. Again, this truck never ceases to amaze me. It just goes way over the top of what you would think it would be able to do, and then it just does it. It's like, oh yeah, you want me to do that? Okay, here you go. Like, here you go, bud. Don't worry about it. Here you go, bud. Don't worry about it. The rocks obstacles, I mean, again, a big part of that is the 40s. The 40s are big steamrollers, and they kind of just roll over everything in their path, but hey, if that's the strategy you got to use, that's the strategy you got to use. And that's the, I mean, it's the Diesel Addict strategy. If y'all know my moderator, Diesel Addict, that's how he drives everywhere in his twin steer, which he loves dearly. Whoa. Whoa, come on. There we go. He's trying to keep the front tires right there on the concrete. This last section is so much fun. It's very trophy truck style. Wow, it handled that so well. No damage through any of that. No damage. That's so insane. The fact that it's got no damage through any of that. Now, granted, earlier on the racetrack, it did pick up a little bit of damage, but none through any of this stuff. So incredibly impressive. So incredibly impressive. Like, I love it. I am blown away with this truck's capabilities. Absolutely blown away with what it can do. And I definitely think if you guys are interested in it, it would be worth inquiring in Frog's Discord about. And if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions on the video and the truck in the comment section down below. And if you would like to see more videos like this and streams, make sure to subscribe and turn those notifications on, and I'll see you guys next time.